There we go. Good evening. Monday Morning Quarterback, episode 113. Glad to have you guys here. And we have a special guest tonight, Austin Quick from Hyper Racing. They are a manufacturer of microsprint chassis and everything microsprints, components. They do some mini sprint stuff. At one time they did quarter midgets. I don't know if they still do. We can ask Austin about that. But big player in the microsprint industry out east. He is going to be joining us here momentarily. Big weekend on tap for us. Last week we did the outlaw race at Plymouth on Thursday, then shot over and did 2 USAC races Friday and Saturday, and we are going to Little Rock for the Short Track Nationals this week. So got a lot going on, trying to end the season strong, help all the customers we can, and keep you guys all rolling. So we will get Austin on here as we roll through this. Anybody that has tech questions, feel free to fire away with those. And give me 1 second here. I will get Austin rolling. There he is, Austin Quick. Can you hear us?
What's up? Yes, good to go.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know it's late. I had somebody ask me earlier, why do you call it Monday Morning Quarterback? You do it at 9 o'clock at night. We used to do it in the morning on Mondays, and it was easy to do it first thing in the morning, but most people could watch at night when they get home from work, etc. So we do it at 9 o'clock. We still call it Monday Morning Quarterback. Maybe we should call it like Monday Night Raw or something like cool, but it's Monday Morning Quarterback.
Kick it back to the old wrestling days.
Yeah. So, Austin, how long have you been working there at Hyper Racing?
Let's see, 2014, in October I started, so actually 2013, end of 2013. So what are we on, 7 years?
7 years.
About 7?
Yeah. And how many people do you guys have there at Hyper?
We got 12 full-time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like part-timers coming here and there.
Sure. You guys are probably the largest manufacturer of microsprints in the country. It seems like you guys probably build more cars than anybody. I know you ship a lot all around the world. How many cars do you build in an average year?
Average is 100.
100.
100 cars. Count on 100 cars for sure. Sometimes it's I don't know the exact number on last year, but I know we got to 100 real quick, and then it kind of leveled off, but then we kept going over.
Gotcha.
Don't know final tally, but it was you count on that. Mostly 600s, so that's definitely, and a lot of our focus has shifted. If anybody hasn't gotten the new 2020 catalog, which was shipped out, Chris Snyder on the cover there, he's looking good.
Just got mine.
Nice.
Yeah. So you got mainly 600s. You do some lightning sprint stuff or 1200, thousands, whatever you want to call them, depending on the part of the country. No junior sprints, right?
Yeah, no junior sprints.
There's no juniors in your part of the country. They're very regional.
They are. Mostly Midwest, California there.
California, I think, is where it originated. And, we have some quarter midget folks that are transitioning to junior sprints here, but we only get like 6 or 8 of them locally, where our local quarter midget clubs are really big. Do you guys still do quarter midget stuff or no? Just support what you had built?
Not too. We had some inventory, but man, we sold. And had some promise at the beginning, but yeah, lately just we would sell maybe one a year.
Gotcha.
That'd be about it. Yeah.
I gotcha.
And just the focus ended up being, not there, and kind of shifted our focus over to put more inventory for 600s.
Yeah, nice. So when did you start racing yourself?
Let's see. 4 years old.
Did you start in quarter midgets?
Sorta. My dad kind of built this. He built this class.
A microd?
No,
No.
microd. He's from New York, though. Microds. Yeah, now Jim Radney, he did. He started microds.
Okay, we built some shocks for a few microds. I'd never heard of one till then.
Yeah, they run them at the Syracuse Fair. They're seen it on old family videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. But no, not microd. It would be kind of similar. He took a tail of like an old Frank Curtis Porter midget.
Yep.
He had that as a tail, and then he built like just pretty much a bigger cage cart. That's what it was, really.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you guys don't.
That started in the backyard there, and then we started racing competitively down in Phoenix, down at AKA Speedway it was, which is now Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
So raced down there, flat track karts, did a little dabbling over at PKRA, which is right across the way there. Some road course racing. We used to race in a Toys R Us parking lot for a while.
I got you.
We used to get a bunch of. For a while there, how I got a lot of stuff was we go find empty parking lots and literally just make like circuits.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
Nice.
So I learned a lot of ability there as far as driving goes. And then did a lot of stuff in Phoenix. We traveled a little bit, not too much with the go-karts.
Mm-hmm.
Until about, then I turned 14. I had a major heart surgery when I was 14. And from that, out of that heart surgery, we ended up moving up from that. Kind of a very interesting switch altogether there on that. And then, and I've just been in micros ever since.
Gotcha.
Dabbling some sprint cars, wingless stuff. Some midget stuff, but nothing like super serious where opportunities presented itself to kind of do that. So
sure.
Just explored the land of 600s.
So your niche is micro racing, and I think there's more big paying micro races definitely than non-wing sprint cars and probably than midgets. So 600s, it used to be a stepping stone, but it can almost be a destination now. I mean, you see some guys that they're probably not making a living at it, just the driving side, but they find other areas, to supplement their income, whether it's a guy like Frank Flood, yourself, Carver works there, right, with you guys.
Yep. Carver,
you have Nathan Benson's, you have these guys that, Galusha, that have they work in the industry, but then they race the...
And Agopia now, even. I mean, we all kind of did the Joe B, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a stepping stone. It's almost a destination now because there are so many races that pay really, really well, which is cool to see. I grew up racing 270s and then 600s on the West Coast, and always loved the cars. And it's cool to see them getting recognition now with big races. So.
Yeah, were you there at a time when did they ever run them on Ventura?
The mini sprints ran Ventura. When I lived out there, they didn't. We raced Delta, Plaza Park, Lemoore. There was a track in Sacramento called Prairie City, which was a really cool track. It's not there anymore. And then Cycleland, where they raced a lot of outlaw karts. We raced there.
Yeah, nice. All right, cool.
And there was 1 or 2 big races a year they would do on the quarter miles, like at Placerville and Marysville and whatnot. But yeah.
Okay.
So Tim Clausen wants to know if you guys still build midgets there at Hyper Racing.
We still have the jig tables.
So if Clausen Marshall's if they're wanting some midgets, you can hook them up.
Yeah, we still have the bodies, still carry all the parts, so definitely not out of the question.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Oh, probably a lot of that carries over to your mini sprint stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We just do the chain where the chain goes, but it's the same halves. We do everything there, just different, braces in the middle part of the Lego piece,
Yeah, nice. So what new do you guys have cooking there at Hyper for 2021? You guys are always innovative and coming up with new things, and so I'm sure you guys have a few things up your sleeve, maybe some you can talk about, maybe some you can't, but what can customers expect in 2021?
2021, there's a lot of developments. There's a big long-term plan that's been really put into place, so just keep on the lookout. It'll be really cool there. This fuel injection, we got Mike's they're working on stuff there. That's going to be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, really just our big thing was the POS system we had up front, so customer-wise there, that was a big one. And then we got the shock department. I know I've been working with you and all the other guys just to kind of, all our manufacturers we deal with, just to kind of do something more specific to our chassis and kind of our brand, help out the customers there. So
Yeah, one thing that's unique about Hyper is you guys are like one-stop shop, right? Like,
Yeah, try to be.
yeah,
Try to
they
be.
engines, shocks. I think you even have in-house graphics stuff or somebody who does graphics for your cars. You can literally pick
Yeah.
the thing up and it's lettered and ready to go.
Yep, yep. We got two guys we really work closely with, which is Sean Sorosky over at Letterworks and then Brandon Raymer at Chop.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that's always good. Yeah, I know it's that plays into our favor a lot. Like we deal with like one in particular relationship I got going right now is actually Dan Steffi out of Phoenix. Just got them earlier.
Yep.
But D1's building cars and we're doing the injection, and then we're dealing with Justin Lyman. He's getting some engines built. He'll bring them up, get them on the dyno, get them dynoed, then get them shipped out to Jake, and go in his cars. So, yeah, a lot of people.
He's a good customer of ours. Really good guy.
Yeah.
So you mentioned kind of working with some of the other builders. How many of the parts in your catalog transition to anybody that has a micro, whatever the brand is? Like quite a bit of your catalog.
So, like our spindles are universal. Rear axles. I mean, all our spacers. We got bird cages. Literally everything suspension component wise will work. It's just you got some specifics like motor plates. Trying to think what else. Front axles. Usually the shock tower is specific to the
brand.
build of the car, and some steering arms, but a lot of it transfers over, and then obviously body parts. So
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the stuff, and a lot of guys do I say we definitely at one point or the other sold you something. So works out pretty good.
Good. Kevin Crum comments he loves your adjustable bird cages and the Evo. So he's was a Farrell chassis guy. He's moving on to sprint car stuff, I think now, or at least that's their goal. So yeah, there's a great example of somebody who used another brand of chassis. Being out in the Northwest, Farrell's pretty popular out there. That's where they're built, but he used your guys' bird cages and fuel injection. So.
Yeah, I know. It's all. Yeah, they just won. Which one did they win? They're at Deming. They put the Evo on right away and won.
They won Clay Cup, which is the big one out there. Yeah. Yeah. Clay Cup. So that's a big. That is a. If you've probably never been to Deming. I got to race there when I was a kid. It was, in my opinion, a little cooler then because you pitted in the infield. Like not too many micro tracks where you unload in the infield. Well, they got rid of the wall and you don't pit in the infield anymore, but it's still like a really, really kick-ass micro track.
That's how I grew up at Manzanita, and that's how that was. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
It was so cool in that aspect.
Yeah, so Clay Cup is a really, really cool micro track. It's this really unique clay. Like it doesn't seem like it touches the tires all night. It feels like modeling clay. But super cool track. The Lemleys are awesome people. And that's one of the few micro races you go to that legitimately on Saturday night at Clay Cup, the stands are absolutely packed of real race fans. So Skagit goes dark on the final night of Clay Cup. So all of the sprint car fans in the area, I mean, they migrate to this little micro track and pack it. The atmosphere is rocking. Yeah, you guys should drag your cars to Washington one year and run that.
Yeah, it's not out of question. Before I quit, completely done racing micros, I definitely want to experience all the sport it has to offer. So
yeah,
Australia and the Northwest are the two. One, I got to race Port City.
Yeah. So. At one point, California Micro Week led into Clay Cup. So you could do California Micro Week. That ended on Sunday. Drive up. Clay Cup starts on Thursday. Run Clay Cup so you can make a 2-week trip and hit both. And it'd be cool if they did that again. I don't think it worked out that way. Well, it didn't even happen this year, the Micro Week. But
it was the option was there though.
Yeah.
To do that, or
so.
Do that sort of thing where they work together. That always works good.
So if anybody that's tuned in, we've got 50 or 60 of you guys watching. If you have questions for Austin regarding Hyper, ask away, and I will pass those along to him. So explain a little bit about your guys' shock department. I know it's been around for a little while. We started working with you guys a few years ago on some different things, and explain kind of how that evolved and all you guys do there in your shock department.
Yeah, so when I first started here, Mike did it before. He started to kind of really get into the shocks and learn about them. He collected a lot We worked really close. ARS has always been his go-to there.
Yep. Great people.
Yeah. So he started there. He got a Motec system, and he did a lot of collecting of data there. So that's a lot of where our shock valving is just based from. Is from that Motec data period, and based off of still the geometry of our cars today. So a lot of that specific to what we carry over. We offer that service as far as just revalving, rebuilding the basic stuff, and then just the service. I feel like that's pretty much a big part of the game. Yeah, you can put together the shock and do the build, but a lot of it's honestly just working with the customer and education.
Yep.
I feel like you're more of a teacher at the end of the day than anything.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell that to people here. I field at least a few calls a week. Hey, why is your shock better than so-and-so? Well, I mean, I'm honest with folks. Like, it's really not, right? Like, whether you're running a CSI, an ARS, an FK, like any of the premier brands, like the quality of the components is super nice. The shock is nice.
yeah,
So you need to figure out, you need to figure out who you can work with to help you get the most out of it, right? And so that's where I think we shine, right? I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. They all build good stuff, but we try to make ourselves as accessible as possible to customers, whether you're a quarter midget guy or a national sprint car guy. And like you say, half of it is just helping, teaching, coaching, and problem solving for folks. And I tell them, if we build you the nicest shock in the world, but you don't know which way to turn the knob, it's useless to you. You're not going to be happy with your purchase, and our shocks aren't going to look good on the racetrack. So that's a huge part of it. I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah, man. And you've done a really good job with the social media. That's another part. You've done really good.
I appreciate it. We try. We try to.
It's a grind, dude. It's hard. Like, you do it after hours, I'm sure.
Yeah, nonstop. My wife will be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm really not editing my fantasy football lineup. I'm replying to 15 Facebook messages." So, but I enjoy it, right? Like, same as you. If it's what you're passionate about and what you love, I like trying to help people as much as I can, And I don't have an answer to every question, but I help them as much as I can,
Yeah, and it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying when you help them along, because you are there and you see them grow and you see them get it and you see them like put it into use and then how they put it together and just the race. It's like, that was cool. All right, right on.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys are the same there. Looking at your staff, it's similar to ours. Everybody's involved in racing outside of work in one way or another. And so our guys like really take pride when we do our Monday morning meetings and we talk about, hey, what's on the docket for this week, and this is our successes from last week. Like, everybody's pumped up, like seeing our customers win big races and stuff like that. So
and that's where development happens. This is where it happens.
Yep.
On Monday, the quarterback on Monday, straight up.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Sometimes it's frustrating because you're like, I got a lot to do. And when you got to like balance, you're like, okay, but this is also very, very valuable information going on. So.
Yep, for sure. Well, everybody's being quiet tonight. Nobody has too many questions for you, but I certainly appreciate you jumping on here. You guys are a valuable partner to us. We appreciate everything you guys do, and we wish you good luck the rest of the year.
Likewise, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and you guys have a good night.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thank you so much.
All right, good.
And that was Austin Quick from Hyper Racing. It was super cool for him to jump on and share with us a little bit that goes on out there. I'm really bummed. I was looking forward to going to their place for PA Micro Week, and that's right when I got sick and had to have my gallbladder taken out, and I wasn't able to go. So on my list next year for sure, want to see not only their place, but all those really cool micro tracks out east. So hang on here for just another second. Anybody has questions, CSI related, more than happy to answer those for you. Again, we are headed to Little Rock on Thursday for Short Track Nationals. And next week, we have an exciting new product release we will go over with you guys on Monday Morning Quarterback. What else is coming up? Our trade-in program is rolling now, so that's good through the end of November. So if you have some shocks you want to upgrade, for new, trade in for new. We are doing that. It's a 1-for-1, so every new shock you're going to buy, you can trade an old one in. Any brand we take trade-ins on, so obviously the newer and the nicer condition, the more trade-in value there is for them, but we can take some old shocks off your hands, get you dialed in with some new ones. So that's rolling till November, and that's kind of what's cracking here at CSI. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in, and if I miss your question, I will try my best to comment on it. You can always shoot me an email or a direct message here on Facebook. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.